Hi, we're back. Today is a colder day in the Bay Area. It's like in the low 60s and super cloudy, so I had to. I'm wearing my Taylor Swift Eras Tour hoodie. There's a child possibly screaming in the background. We're gonna let him express his feelings. Yes, that's what we're gonna let him do. um, I have a lot of topics like in my head around what kind of video I want this to be, but naturally we're gonna just yap and then see what direction it goes in. I think currently I want to talk about social media and how to make social media work for you, because I see a lot of messaging around like social media detox and just like, I got off social media for 30 days, I got off social media for like 6 months, and this is how it changed my life. And I don't want to like discredit that experience, because it is definitely very necessary, especially in a world, like a day and age where we're so online all the time. But I'm someone who works in marketing, yes. Currently my field is more in advertising than it is in social media, but I do have a lot of like interest in social media. Previously I worked as a social media manager, so I have a background where it's like I understand how social media can help like an organization or an individual really prosper by connecting to their ideal audience, like growing their community. And I also have that personal angle too, where I'm using social media for my own personal accounts, and I'm trying to share my values, my interests, my passions to kind of reach out, build a community a little bit more around this area, especially since, as an adult, like, it is harder to make friends since we don't have like those structures of school anymore. But okay, all that said, right? So those are my credentials on why I feel qualified to talk about social media and why I feel qualified to speak on how it could actually be of really positive benefit in your life than like, this anxious, like, you don't want to be anxiously attached to social media anymore. It's something that can honestly bring more positive into your life than negative. And in the ways that I've been trying to handle that and manage, more of the positive side of social media rather than the negative, is by being intentional with who I follow and what kind of content I'm consuming, because I'm pretty scattered across different platforms. I'm active on Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, YouTube, what else? Tumblr a little bit for like more like free creative writing poetry. So I have a good idea of how each platform works. And when I either create a new account or try to refurbish an old account and like use it again so that I can be on the platform again, what I try to do is I aim to follow accounts that I feel like I can learn something from, or are kind of a step ahead of me. Like if I'm trying to make, for example, if I'm trying to make more like travel influencer vlog type of content or videos, I don't like the word content. I'm gonna just say that. Like, I don't love the word content. I know it's like a kind of blanket word that we use for a lot of like, content media. And it's an effective word, but I don't love using it because I think it diminishes the word art that, all content essentially is. It's an art. Short form video is like a film, a short film in itself. It's a piece of art. So I aim to follow accounts that inspire me, that I can learn from, that can teach me something, or that offer maybe a different perspective. So if I'm trying to follow a travel vlogger, then or like curate more of a travel vlogger identity around myself, then I'm going to follow the best of the best, but also I'm going to try to find smaller travel vloggers so that I can make like that kind of community where it's like, oh, we're aspiring travel vloggers, we are like trying to do the thing, helping each other out, that kind of stuff. And the ways that I've seen this help a lot has been on TikTok, not so much Instagram, and I think Twitter, because I've been on Twitter for so long. I've been on it since 2013, when I officially turned 13. So yeah, I like abided by like the age rules and whatever. If you know, you know, like the whole like Twitter ban, if you like changed your age to like when you signed up it was younger than 13, you were younger than 13, and they like immediately banned you. Yeah, that's the lore. But anyway, I feel like my Twitter algorithm has been pretty on point, or Twitter's algorithm is pretty good. And nowadays a lot of social media algorithm models are trying to copy TikTok, to say the least, where it's like they're gonna put in what's trending, yes, but also things that they learn about you that you like. A funny thing that I keep seeing on my Instagram is I get so much rat content, like mice, rat, but also like scuba diving and free diving, which like my partner is really into, so it kind of just bleeds into my algorithm on Instagram, and I don't mind. I like send him all the videos I see. I'm like, hey, check this out. But in the end, it's making sure that your algorithm is more so nourishing you and your own interests than it being just, you know, trends that are cycling through the internet culture, because trends are a little vapid and they're not all that interesting to digest, in my opinion. Like, they're fun to witness in action, but I just don't think they're the most nourishing form of media online. Because like when in contrast to like, okay, say that you're really into like Harry Potter, or like you're really into Harry Potter, you're a part of the fandom, you're engaging in discourse or like conversation around the source media. Maybe Harry Potter isn't the best example, but it's a, you know, one of those like major franchises that a lot of people like, there's a huge fandom around. And that's what's fun about the internet, how it's more of like a chat room where it's like you kind of talk about your favorite interests and the things that inspire you and light you up. Because the reason why you gravitate towards certain things is because, oh, one day you hope to be like you like Harry Potter because, you know, you wish to have a world where there is magic. That sounds like super cool. Or there's something about the media that like inspires you, not the medium. Anyway, all that said, right, because I want to make the clear distinction between having an algorithm that nourishes you versus having an algorithm where it's just your old friends, your family, trend cycles that may happen, like news cycles even, like that's not necessarily like curated to you. And so if that is what your social media is, it's just gonna feel really like, why am I here? Like what is the purpose of being here for? And oftentimes it is to keep up with family and friends. Like Instagram, I feel like the main pressure on it is just the fact that it feels like a kind of community board of updates of like, oh, this person got married, this person's having a baby, now that I'm in like my adulthood. Or it's like this person graduated, or this person is traveling the world, like they're in Italy and they're in Paris, and all these kind of like show off like updates that we kind of just want to like boast and brag about and like put on the feed. To one, you know, I think the positive side of that is like to be hyped up by our community, where it's like, oh my god, that's so cool, like goals, that kind of thing. And the other side of it is to feel better than the people around us, because we kind of want that validation of like, am I advancing well in life? Am I like, you know, doing well in life? Yeah. What else? Other ways that social media can work for you is when is on the idea of posting, right? Because I think posting can be really overthought, and then we can go back to old cycles of like where we wanted to post from, where it's like we want to be either hyped up, validated, or like measure up to our peers. Another way to think about posting is as a way to get to know yourself better. And I'm not going to discredit like the whole like, I think there is a validity to vanity. Like there is a validity to wanting to present yourself beautifully and, commemorate a moment in time where, you are in your prime and you're young and you're stunning and you have a bomb ass fit on, you're out with the girls, that kind of thing. There's a valid reason for that, and I don't want to discredit that and be like, that's vapid and that's, surface level, whatever. I think that beauty is an incredibly important thing to share. I mean, there's a reason why beauty influencers and beautiful people, there's a reason why beautiful people get followed so often. Sorry, that was so gross. Hopefully the camera didn't pick it up, but it probably did. But anyway, and if your goal on Instagram or even on socials is to take pretty pictures of yourself and share it, I think, why not? It's cute, you're creating a vibe, you're documenting a vibe, and in the process of getting to know yourself, that can also lead into maybe a model angle or to a creative visionary director angle where you are curating the vibe of your feed, or not feed, but your profile feed. So I don't want to be now posting for yourself means writing poetry, and it means talking about your feelings and no, I think you can still continue your old posting habits, but there can be an awareness of, why do I want to post this? Oh, I want to post this because of the reasons stated before, or because, I'm trying to evolve more into this travel vlogger identity that I want to take on. Hopefully I can get money and opportunities through vlogging gigs and content creation that. I'm trying to build a portfolio, and those are steps to work towards that goal and work towards that dream, especially if it's social media focused. But I feel like the people who are on social media already, who are social media managers and content creators, they already know that. And what I want to develop in a little bit more is the fact that no matter what you post, it's always going to be a window into your soul a little bit, and not in a super vulnerable, explicit way, but it makes you wonder why is this important to me? Why is it important that, right now, why is it important that I'm sitting down in the park, I'm sharing my feelings about how to make social media work for you? And for me, at least right now, it's because I'm personally passionate about this stuff. I work in the field, and I'm aiming to connect and find other people who feel the same way, or hopefully inspire others too, who want a sign, but haven't personally got one yet. And those are my own reasons. And then when you think about it more for past posting, or I want to say if posting makes you anxious, this is the perfect thing to think about, because why would it make you anxious? What are you behind? Anxiety is fear. And what is it that you are afraid of? Are you afraid of appearing a certain way? Are you afraid of making other people upset, making your family upset by what you're posting, making friends upset? Diving down into that and highlighting, okay, well, the reason why I'm hesitant to post this, or the reason why I feel like I can't post this, is because of XYZ. And currently, honestly, this is an area that I've been trying to tackle a lot lately. And I guess the shortest answer possible, I talked about it more in my before video of what to do when you're posting and your family and friends are watching. But in the shortest answer possible, in the end, what you post has to ultimately favor yourself. It has to be for yourself, no matter what that is. Even if it is a cringe post, maybe if you're, a little insecure about how you look in this photo, but it's the trip that you went on that matters, and you want to document it and commemorate that, but you just don't love the photo that when it came out. Post for yourself. Doesn't need to be the bestest thing ever. I think perfection gets in the way of a lot of output, especially from creative people who are trying to put out works of art, and in the end it does appear as a work of art, but it's like, to them it's like, oh, is this good enough? Is this good enough? I don't know. That is my current reflection on social media, especially after hearing my people close to me like say like, oh, you know, I deleted Instagram and it felt so good. I deleted Instagram for a week. It felt so good. I felt like I had no worries in the world. And I hear my mom talk about that a lot. I think growing up, my mom was like, I hate Facebook. Facebook is the devil. And I'm like, okay. But I mean, it's a different generation, right? I'm never going to be able to explain to her, like, Mom, like, no, like, social media is actually really cool and good. Because she grew up in a day and age where it's like you just knocked on each other's houses and like you'd be like, hey, you want to go hang out? And then you'd go. And for my generation, I went through like torture just figuring out all the social complexities that were added in because of technology and social media. It was so annoying, to the point where it's like during the worst moments in middle school, like when I was given a cell phone, like an iPhone with Instagram and all that, like the bullying and the, I guess, cell phone addiction just became so bad to the point where like they felt like they couldn't like do, the only thing they could do to help me was just take it away. And I mean, they weren't wrong. I think there definitely are moments where a social media break is needed. One of my favorite creators on TikTok, she took a social media break and came back to it with more clarity on what she wanted to do with her profiles. And in those cases, I would 100% advocate for it. But if it's a social media break because, you know, you're tired of seeing updates from these people that you don't even like, and, you know, like you don't know what to post, you don't know what to say, in the end, like, hit block. Like, hit unfollow. I know that there is, like, a huge connotation or, like, a connotation with unfollowing and blocking, but honestly, it's your digital space and you deserve to honor it and curate it to the best of your enjoyment. Everybody's online all the time. It's not gonna end, not anytime soon, unless, you know, you go off the grid and you start a commune and everybody you know in the commune is like social media free too, but it's not gonna happen like that. So taking those steps, especially if you can still meet that person in real life and like have that one-to-one where it's like, hey, you know, I'm a little like anxious about how you perceive, or not those words exactly, but it's like, I'm trying something new and I like want to do it in privacy or in secret first before I like share it with the rest of the world. So this is why you may be blocked or whatever, or why I unfollowed you, or why I'm private now. But like, I still love you as a friend, like, thank you for all your support, and those kinds of like words to still like keep the relationship positive, but also retain that boundary that you want to have on social media. I don't think that your in-person, like in real life personality, identity is going to match who you are on social media, especially if you're using social media as a tool to grow as a person. Especially if you're like, you know, I want to appear as a travel vlogger, or I want to be a foodie, or I want to write poetry and like all these different things. That is not like all of who you are in person. It's just only a facet that you're choosing to show. So yeah, I think, yeah. I have nothing else to say. I think I've said it all. But hopefully it changes, or, you know, this can add a little bit of a different perspective to how you approach social media and what makes it beneficial to you, and the benefit that you can even like take from it in the future, like from what you're posting or what you're consuming on your algorithms and feeds. It is entirely by your design, and you are able to make it work for you if that's what you choose. And if you need a break, you need a break. Those are my thoughts. See you next time.